Now, it's been called Legalization Day. Washington State, on the west coast of America, has become the first US state to legalize the possession of cannabis. It means that, as of today, you can't be arrested by state police for possessing an ounce or less of the drug. In January, a second state, Colorado, will follow suit. So could it start a global shift in the way cannabis and other drugs are viewed in law? Matt Fry is in Seattle, in Washington State tonight. Matt.
Well, Chris, we don't know about the global shift, but there's certainly a shift in America. But the overall picture, to be honest, is rather mixed, rather schizophrenic, if you like. So yes, it is legal here in Washington State. It will be legal in Colorado, but it is still a federal offense across the nation. There are still 800,000 Americans in jail because of cannabis, and it is still officially classed as a Schedule I drug, the same as heroin. And what I found rather surprising is there's been very little debate in this state about the health impact of legalizing cannabis. If anything, what people witnessed last night, they thought was a piece of history at the stroke of midnight.
Does anybody need a joint? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not exactly New Year, but a new era for people who like cannabis. Everywhere else in America, you can still be arrested for doing this.
Smoke bubbles of freedom.
But not here, not in this state.
So This is the BMW of smoking apparatus, for real.
Thank them, amongst others.
This is like when the first bricks came out of the Berlin Wall, and people saw, wow, the wall could actually just come down entirely. That's what it feels like today.
Their campaign has spent many years and over $6 million in advertising and lobbying to make marijuana mainstream through the ballot box. This is the new clean-shaven face of ganja.
Although I love it. you know,
and look, the world doesn't end.
And that's their point. Cannabis should be treated like wine or beer, legalized, advertised, and taxed. But they would never have got here if the ground hadn't been prepared by the widespread use of medical marijuana.
Even the toasty rolls on the bottom are gluten-free.
Gluten-free, but full of hash. This place is a medical dispensary that looks and feels remarkably like a candy shop. And yes, they even sell weed lollipops.
That stuff looks so good. It's really pretty. It smells really delicious.
Officially, these are still patients, not customers, and they still need a doctor's recommendation to come here.
I have chronic pain in my shoulders, and it helps to relieve the pain so that I can go to sleep.
But one day soon, this may morph into a cannabis cafe.
Thank you.
Half off hash Wednesday. You buy a hash, you get half off your next one. Friday is Free Joint Friday, which is one of our more popular days.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
Shy by name, but not by nature. The man behind the joint has all the flair of a car salesman and the vision of a tycoon of toke.
I feel that Seattle is going to become a mecca for people wanting to come visit us. People from Oregon, people from Canada.
You'll become the new Amsterdam.
Yes. A store that I would love to open would be by the airport, because people would love to fly in and experience cannabis.
Seattle is an iconic, groundbreaking city that has already given the planet the experience of Starbucks, Amazon, or Microsoft. So why not the worldwide weed?
Washington State regards itself as a bit of a laboratory chamber for the next big social experiment in America. Supporters of legalization think that it's as important as the end of alcohol prohibition in 1933. And yet things are a little bit more complicated.
Today, basically what has happened now is that you can legally possess an ounce of marijuana, but you have to commit a crime to obtain it. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't.
Welcome to the strange new world of Commander Pat Slack, who hasn't been cutting drug users much in his 43 years on the police force. He regards the new law as dangerously incoherent and ineffective.
Do you think this ends the war on drugs?
No.
Why?
The cartels that are involved are not just selling marijuana. They're heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine. So they'll just switch to the other drug and move forward.
Until now, it's only been the cartels who've turned dope into a multi-billion-dollar business. That may be about to change.
Recreational or medical cannabis, so.
Hillary Bricken is a cannabis business attorney, and since the vote, her phone has been ringing off the hook with questions from potential investors.
It's not the breakdown of society, it's not young people turning their backs on morality. It really is the opportunity to build an industry, regulate it, and make it safe. And we have only had this opportunity really one other time from the ground up, and that was with alcohol. I mean, if you look at Jim Beam was a runner, now he's a household name.
Are healthy and they're as nice as they can be.
Gorgeous looking plants, aren't they?
Eventually, they want to turn small grow rooms into giant greenhouses for mass production. Once upon a time, this plant defined America's counterculture. Now it has two irresistible allies, the law and money. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Now, all eyes, whether you're a consumer, whether you're a police officer, whether you're a potential investor, are really on the federal government in Washington. What will President Obama say about this? Remember, this is a man who has admitted to not just smoking it as a student, but to inhaling it, unlike President Clinton. But so far, he and the Attorney General have said absolutely nothing about this new law in Washington state. But until they do, we're very much in uncharted territory here. And I should add one thing. No one you talk to has a clue how this is going to impact on the so-called war on drugs.
Thanks, Matt.